What's going on, guys? It's MaxMax24 here, and E3 2018 is over. Now it's time to rank the press conferences. Every year, you gotta do this. You gotta see who do you think won E3, get the mythical award from E3, and figure it out. But before we get into that, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, click that bell notification icon and stay notified on when I upload. With that, let's get into this video. So, this year's conferences, most of them were pretty solid. They were pretty great. The top 5, it was hard to place where and who, because they all had something good to them. But I figured out a listing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The worst press conference, the worst one out of all of them, wasn't even really a press conference at all. It was just a series of trailers, 30 minutes, a series of trailers that they uploaded to YouTube. The Square Enix press conference. They didn't show anything we cared about. It was Shadow of Tomb Raider, and then some other things I don't even remember. Nothing about the Avengers project, nothing about Final Fantasy VII Remake. There was nothing. Nothing that I cared 1 cent about. So, that was a failure on their part. Coming in at number 6 has got to be Electronic Arts press conference. Now, that was just bad. They spent most of the time on sports games, which more than half of the gamers do not care one thing about. They don't change at all every year. And all they change is the roster. You don't have to spend so much time in your E3 press conference on that. It was just kind of weird, and so much cringy stuff came out of that with the belt and everything. They showed off a little bit about Anthem and Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5, which I guess were nice. But then they did a really weird reveal of a new Star Wars game. The guy sounded out of it, and it was just weird. A weird way to reveal a game, and I did not enjoy it one bit. It was a weird conference, definitely not for the gamers. Just felt like it was more for the investors. Number 5 has got to be Nintendo. Now, Nintendo doesn't do normal press conferences anymore. They do Nintendo Directs. And there were some nice things in there. Super Mario Party. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I think, was in there. I don't remember. Most of it, though... Oh, and Fortnite. Most of it, though, was spent on Super Smash. So it felt more like a Super Smash Bros. Advertisement than anything else, which is not the way they should have done. They should have revealed some more Switch games instead of just Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nothing else really was revealed there except for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it was boring. And number 4 has got to be Ubisoft. Now, they didn't really have many games to show up. The Division 2, Trials Rising, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey being their top contenders for games. But their conference was the most fun. They started out with some dancing pandas. Now, some of you may think that's weird, but I thought it was fun. They showed off, well, they had the Trials Rising guy come in on a motorcycle and crash into things. The excitement the developers had when they walked off stage and forgot to turn off their microphones. It was just a generally fun conference. Not much game content there, besides what we expected, but it was just fun. Then number 3 has got to be Sony. Now, Sony did have some great games. The Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, things like that. The Death Stranding, which was amazing. I mean, I just can't wait for that. But the weird thing about it was just how it was all set up, how they started it in the Last of Us 2 area, then they all had to get up and move, which was really dumb, a really weird setup. Everyone watching at home, we didn't understand what was going on. And people there had to all move, and it was just really dumbly set up, and it should not be set up like that ever again. Sony, don't ever do that again. Keep them in one spot. Don't spend all this time and money to build one thing and then move them to another spot. But other than that, it was a fine conference. They had some games, not really any big new announcements to share, but what they did have, they did show more of, and it was enjoyable. And it makes me excited to have a PlayStation 4. Because I want to play The Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding mostly. But, yeah. Number 2, Microsoft. Microsoft jumped right out of the gates, saying they had 50 games to show off, 18 of which were exclusives. and I think 15 of which was for world premieres. So that was amazing. Game after game after game after game. But we didn't know like much about any of the games, just their titles and a little trailer. That was their big downfall. Started off with Halo Infinite. It was a trailer. Don't know like anything about the game. And we just have some cool trailer. Gears 5, Gears Funko, Forza Horizon 4, they just went game after game after game, which was awesome. The problem is those 15 exclusive, 18 exclusives, whatever it was, aren't fully on exclusives. Most of them are console launch exclusives, so to pen them as exclusives was a downfall because that's not what it is. But other than that, it was a fine conference. That's why it's at number 2. I liked it better than Sony just because I've been more of an Xbox fan than a Sony fan. So, again, I'm going to have some bias towards Xbox. But also, it was a cool conference, game after game after game. It's what they needed. And finally, number 1, the big E3 award, Bethesda. They spent a lot of time explaining their games. They announced games. They explained exactly what they are. Doom Eternal. They started off with a really dumb musical intro that was kind of weird with Andrew WK and Rage 2, which was kind of weird. Nobody asked for Rage 2. So it was kind of a weird intro to get everyone hyped up. And then they announced Doom Eternal and Prey DLC and stuff, and they actually spent some time to explain a little bit about them. Wolfenstein Youngbloods. They explained, and then when Todd Howard came on stage, he answered so many questions about Fallout 76, so many, that it made me super excited, super hyped for that game, that I want to go buy it right now and play it with my friends. And then he didn't just stop there. He announced Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 we knew was in development. Starfield had been hinted at and rumored, and then they announced it. It just blew everyone out of the water, broke the internet, and it was just amazing. That's why Bethesda has got to win this year's E3, just by the sheer amazingness and hype around all their games. It was amazing. I can't say anything more about it. So that's it for the E3 2018 press conference ratings. Bethesda's number 1, Microsoft's number 2, Sony's number 3, Ubisoft's number 4, Nintendo's number 5, Electronic Arts is number 6, and number 7 is Square Enix. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. The same stuff I told you at the beginning of the video. Click that bell notification. If you want to stay updated on any videos I post or anything happening with this channel, please follow me on Twitter. That's where I tweet that's where I share the most. That's where I talk the most. I don't talk very much on Facebook or Instagram or anything else. It's mostly on Twitter. Every day I usually send out a tweet. So if you want to keep notified, please follow me there. And with that said, I hope to see you in the next video.